Havos and PGG didn't look too impressed by the DJing. Or they looked like, you know, let's just get this game started. That's kind of what their faces were telling me.
I think they're impressed with the bartender drinks that they're getting.
Yeah, that makes it a lot better, I imagine.
I can't imagine there isn't. There is not alcohol in it. Is it alcohol?
Probably. It's PGG. This guy, TI2, the only like ever match at a TI that was a forfeit win was PGG. Didn't show up in time in the morning. He'd been drinking not just the night before, but the morning before his match. I feel okay telling that story because I think someone already told it at a recent hub or something.
Yeah.
I don't think PGG cares. He's not a player anymore.
TI4, I met that guy before we all... Toby and I flew from Germany to Amsterdam, and then the Amsterdam flight was full of all the Russian casters and stuff. And met PGG the first time there, and says hi, say hi back. Says we drink.
Yeah.
I was like, no, dude, let's wait until we actually get there first before we start drinking. I watched him. He drank a lot on the plane.
Doesn't surprise me.
No.
That was like going to TI2. This guy was a legend. You know? Like Dota 1, he was just one of those notorious big name flamers, absolute like wild card. You never know what to expect. Yeah. And my first TI, my first time being a big international event, I'm like, I want to drink with PGG. It's so much to do. Listen, I've been messing before. Like, dude, we got to drink a TI. And he messaged me at 3 a.m. before their match, and I'm like, to come drink. So I'm casting. Like, I'm like, oh, whatever. You know, I don't have a responsibility to my teammates or other people. I had a responsibility to Valve to cast. Like, no, group stage we weren't casting. We were just doing rehearsals. The entire, because we were the panel, so they got all the casters were casting group stage from home at TI2 for whatever reason. And the panel, which was me, James, Bruno in the end, it wasn't meant to be on the panel, but did end up becoming the panel, and Nebula, were just there to rehearse like 3 days in a row, so we weren't really rehearsing. For 3 days, it was just like sit around, do nothing. So I'm like, sure, I'll come drink. And sure enough, he was there till 5 or 6 in the morning. When I saw him the next morning to walk over, he still had a whiskey orange juice or something in his hand. Walking over to the Valve offices late for his match. Oh,
that's excellent.
That's good.
$1 million tournament.
Yeah.
TI2. I mean, sure, after, you know, like when we get to TI4, TI5, like that looks like chump change. But back then, there was so much money.
And unlike TI1, some people had doubts about like, oh, is this legit? But by TI2, it's like you knew TI was a big deal.
Yeah.
But not for PGG.
What a legend.
Yeah. The somewhat definition of just not giving a fuck.
That is definitely true. What is this draft?
They're just keeping the DJ going. I guess these guys are hearing the DJ music too as they're going. No. What is this draft? We have a Lone Druid. We have a first to Enigma. We have a Lich. Lich was pretty high priority in a lot of the SEA games I was casting.
Oh god, they had no Phantom Lancer answers.
Yeah, and PL is very good here against Lone Druid. Just period. I guess the Radiance kind of helps a little bit, but I don't think it solves your problems against him.
Maybe that was the Odium play. They're like, we're going to distract them and create chaos in our draft with Enigma and then a third pick Lich. And they're going to be so focused on countering the Enigma with Vengeful Spirit and whatever that they're not going to notice that we have snuck in a Phantom Lancer 4th pick. Weird. I don't know why Team Empire has Lone Druid though.
Yeah, is this still a hero? I guess it feels like something like someone like Koikva might still be playing, but the majority of people feel like this hero is hard to pull off.
I wonder if it's supposed to lane really well against Enigma.
Yeah. What are we... Okay, so Ember's going to be the last pick core. They pick up a Bloodseeker in response. I imagine that's going to be potentially a lane counter, but it is Kuman picking it up and Chappie on the Lone Druid. Chappie never struck me as a Lone Druid player, but obviously... I don't think you pick Lone Druid if you don't have a Lone Druid player on this patch. It's not like something you can just be like, you know, this is meta, we have to play it. It's very out of the meta and considered a weak hero, so you need somebody who is an expert on the hero to make it work.
Kuman, this Bloodseeker choice is, I think, a really good answer to both Ember Spirit and Phantom Lancer. I mean, they definitely needed... I'm not convinced that it's actually going to win them the game, but I think, like, there was such an advantage to Odium once they picked that Phantom Lancer, and you didn't have very many... Like, you only had one pick to try and counter it, and whatever last pick was there from Odium. It's not bad.
It seems, yeah, like one of the better options available. Their team fight still looks so lackluster, though. It's kind of where I feel like Bloodseeker is going to be like running in with very little backup. Even when he has this BKB, there's Enigma Black Hole, which sure can be cancelled, but there's going to be times where Avenge is dead or Enigma Ultra late game has a Lincoln Sphere, and then suddenly it's just like, well, we're losing late game to a BKB Blink Lincoln's Enigma, and there's nothing we can do.
So do you Lone Druid against the Ember Spirit mid and then Bloodseeker into the Enigma?
What do you prefer?
Earthshaker lane?
I mean, both those heroes should, to me, beat Ember mid, I guess. I would imagine.
Yeah, I think so. The Bloodseeker Ember Spirit one is probably a little bit more... has a higher peak and lower... Like, he could absolutely dominate that matchup, or he could slip up and actually die to the Ember Spirit.
I guess particularly with, depending how the side lanes go, if they're getting heroes low, like that's where Bloodseeker can really snowball out of control in that mid lane, which he's not going to get as much from a side lane.
Yeah.
And
I think Low Druid just will statically, like, slowly win the lane. Yeah. So they are going to put the Bloodseeker mid, and then the Lone Druid against the Enigma lane.
I think this makes a bit more sense to me, but I think either could have been doable. Lone Druid, just something, he's got a bit more right-click damage output as far as dealing with Eidolons maybe, and just feels like this is going to work out well for them as we get into the game. DJ's Be Gone With, and just the beautiful sounds of Dota 2. We left with you. I love Dota 2 sounds. It's one of the things you take for granted, and then you realize how recognizable the game is just from hearing sounds.
Did a good job with the voice actors as well.
Yeah.
To be honest, I never imagined, and I don't think it quite reaches that level, but I didn't think Dota could really compete with the Warcraft 3 voices and the sounds that are so iconic in that game.
Yeah.
That was something that Blizzard did a really good job of, and Valve, I think, certainly took notice.
Yeah, Valve had made some kind of cool games before that, like TF2 and Portal and stuff, but it was like Dota 2 was their first, even though it's a different genre to Warcraft, I feel like they learned so much from Warcraft as a whole and how to make a successful game.
I mean, even going so far as, like, clicking on a hero a bunch of times will give you secret hero lines, right?
Yes.
Like, I think Empire, they definitely have to dominate the laning phase. They really need a strong Pugna in this game. Like, I think they need to try and, like, take those early towers and play around him team fight-wise. He's going to be the one doing lots of damage to get the Bloodseeker to a position where there's a lot of thirst charges and he can run in and blow up heroes. They're going to need Bloodseeker to probably get a Radiance in this game, which always leaves an awkward window where Bloodseeker isn't really that strong for you while he's holding on to 3,000 gold. Doesn't quite have the Sacred Relic or the Radiance. So there's definitely... Oh, wait. They've got a Lone Druid, so he'll probably just go a normal build, and they'll have the Lone Druid Radiance.
Yeah, I mean, there is a chance we see that kind of Maelstrom-type play, but I don't know. I don't think that's enough against the PL. Speaking of which, PL having not the best time in the offlane. He didn't get the matchup he wanted as Pugna did the full rotation to the top lane, but they're going to try and make up for that with Earthshaker doing some things where he pulls creep waves instead. So, we'll see how this manages out for them. Back at mid, it's Jewel Lane's mid. This feels like a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
Lich Jewel Lane mid, Ogre Jewel Lane mid. This is a true throwback.
This is simultaneously really smart by Odium because they need to put pressure on the Bloodseeker, but at the same time they're being met by an Ogre, so it's tough to actually win the dual lane outright. Lil's doing something really smart in that not only is he going behind and pulling the creep wave, but he's also sitting and stalling the creep wave oftentimes So the range creeps are still sitting on top of the camp. Oh, nope, he didn't get it. The easy camp did spawn. He earlier body blocked it to make sure that there wasn't a camp to pull.
Yeah, when you do that pull, it's really nice to get that added value, but still, they get the pull to guarantee the PL confirm away from the Pugna. Give him a bit of an easier time, secure him some more guaranteed last hits. We'll see how that continues to shape out. It is still Empire overall with a bit of an advantage in terms of the early CS, with their 3 cores all having double-digit CS with a bit of an edge in their lanes, but nothing too significant this early on. And nothing, I think, too concerning for Odium right now, who have plenty of teamfight options later on to kind of fall back on.
Yeah, certainly. Chappie at the bottom lane is just playing with the Lone Druid against Enigma, and what he does, he just keeps on trying to run down the Eidolons.
Yeah, he's having a lot of success.
Yeah, the extra CS.
Top lane. Some early pressure coming in. EL taking a lot of damage in harass, as well as getting that efficiency blast onto the tower at the same time. Back at mid. Ooh, nice searing chains. They're going to bring down the Ogre. They catch him out with the help of the Lich there. Early first blood going the way of Odium.
Those Ember Spirits lanes are always dangerous, dual lane or no, just because of the fact that they can output so much magic damage in a short period of time. Nice block at top. It's going to get a decent amount of damage on him with Poshka, but it's Pugna who has boots. He's already faster than you without boots. He gets boots and he outruns everybody in the game.
Yeah. Pretty annoying, frustrating stuff. He's not having the best time in his lane. Back in mid, Ember again going for another kill. Under the tower, though, both getting very low, and he'll win this battle once again. They are having such a good time with this Lich dual lane mid. And the Bloodseeker that was kind of picked up largely, I feel like, as a lane counter. Even went for this Orb of Venom build, but this additional right click is just not quite having the results he was hoping for in this lane.
Yeah, Bloodseekers was winning out in this CS a little bit, especially that's surprising because he's facing a Lich, so naturally there's just less creeps for him to win the CS war. He does manage to get the kill back onto Naive, so it looks like he's still going to be kind of winning the lane, but it is really good that Odium are getting kill after kill in this mid lane to kind of offset that.
Yeah, in a pure 1v1, you got to imagine this would be a lot more one-sided in Bloodseeker's favor, particularly with all the damage and harass happening in side lanes at that point, but not so much the case. And I like how, that's the other real strong benefit of doing those Shaker pulls behind tower, is that you're not trading harass with the enemy, and when they have a Bloodseeker, you don't want your side lanes to get in these 2v2 spam wars where they're just using spells against each other. That just empowers the Bloodseeker to even further win his lane.
Man, Ghostic is just feeding away Eidolons.
Oof. Yeah, he's got decent chunk of denies, but those last hits on Lone Druid really adding up at this point. Druid, perhaps one of those options. You can just 1v1 against the Enigma. Back at mid, Naive and Kuman continue to exchange blows, and once again, it's the Odium mid lane. This dual lane of theirs proving to be the stronger of the two. Bloodseeker loves these 1v1s, but in a 2v2 where there's this added harass, suddenly things get a whole lot trickier for him. Not to mention the XP deficit. You're just not getting those early points in the thirst that you'd normally get in a true 1v1, made worse by the fact Lich has Sacrifice.
As a result of him getting all 3 of the last hit on the hero kills, Lich was actually ahead of the Phantom Lancer slightly in net worth.
Yeah, he still is even at this point. That is kind of crazy. Lich, Slayer having a great time.
It does say very bad things about your 2 side lanes, though, that the Enigma and the Phantom Lancer are that low. Looks like Empire overall are winning that net worth war.
Well, they recognize PL's not farming, so they're going to rotate him down bottom. Black Hole gets him on the edge. Great knowledge of how to plan that from the far reaches. I feel like that's a true sign of an Enigma player that you go for that Black Hole, knowing it's going to clip him. That looked like it was going to be out of range, but not just bottom lane, it's mid lane. Again, Naive setting up these kills, has another Searing Chains, another Frost Blast is there. Slayer gets his 4th kill of the game. He is dominating already. What a start for Odium. Explosive stuff early on. CS-wise, still looking okay for Empire. It's not that big of a lead by any means, but definitely a good sign for them. Looks like
apparently we're going to watch that Ogre kill.
Making sure you know. Observers do not miss kills here. They just sometimes don't show them live. That was the Ogre going down, as well as another promo code. You guys, if you're watching at home, if you see those promo codes, head on over to weplay.tv/codes. You can enter them, stand a chance to win a gaming laptop. All you have to do is enter codes at that website. As things will continue with this highly aggressive early game for Odium, which is definitely a good way to kind of make up for the fact that side lane farmers are not having the best time. It's just to, you know, play this chaotic style of Dota, create space, keep looking for these fights and kills, particularly with the Ember having a good time. He's already hit level 6, and now he can be an even bigger threat rotating to side lanes.
This will be a really true test because Naive, they're putting a lot on him to be able to carry this early to mid game. He's pretty much the only laning phase that's really going truly well. So as a result, we're going to kind of put to the test how good he is, because I feel like in the previous series, Odium's was very reliant on their 3 through 5 position to win the game. Like, Ox and Naive did not stand out particularly well.
Yeah.
It was just the core of this Odium squad with Slayer, Lil, and Ghostic. Ghostic especially put in so much work.
He's the one having the good early start, but he actually feeds away a kill there to an Ogre Bloodseeker, which I wouldn't expect to happen at level 6 for Ember. Perhaps just stunned and caught in a Blood Rite, but out of the way. Kuman, he's going to get back, find an Invis rune. Can he hit the Searing Chainsaw? He's going to try and stand his ground and fight. Searing Chains comes out, gets him with the help of the immolation damage, and he'll be going back to the mid lane. Naive and Kuman just trading blows. Both of them just seem to be trading kill for kill, death for death. Perhaps a few more deaths on the side of the Bloodseeker, who's now 2 and 4.
Yeah, once upon a time, this Bloodseeker was 200, 300 net worth ahead. Now, Ember Spirit is 600 net worth over the Bloodseeker and is top of the board.
Gotta say, that replay was a little disappointing. I was curious to see how he died, and I feel like I know nothing more.
You said they don't miss kills, but they may miss the entire lead up to the kill.
Quite know what's going on there. Enigma's next black hole coming up soon. Not that that necessarily means we're in for any kind of a big team fight, but we could see another just solo kill on a core hero. It's proven to be a handy way to just use these early game black holes. Bottom lane, a bit of a fight coming out. Chain Frost goes bouncing around, goes back to the Lone Druid, doesn't get the RNG. I believe there was a creep nearby that it could have bounced to, but definitely showing Lich is one of those heroes that can match up pretty well against the Lone Druid. Sort of micro the bear and the hero away from each other very quickly when that Chain Frost comes out. As Odium strike again. 9 kills in as many minutes early on.
We're going to have battling Helma Dominators. Ghostic's going to grab one, and Lone Druid Chappie obviously already has his. No Hurley Hand of Midas planned for Chappie.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of okay with.
Yep. It's normally one or the other, I feel, with Lone Druids. You get one, then you go into the Radiance. Some players prefer one or the other, depending on whether they want to play more defensive farming or aggressive pressure heroes for kills and towers for money for your team.
Naive. I like this. Especially Ember Spirits. Rotate out of your lane at 10 minutes. Secure bounty runes. Ember Spirit especially because he's super strong at this point thanks to his remnants, and he's also a bottle hero. So it's efficient for you too as well, not just for the team.
It's back to mid lane right after that. See more continued farm going his way. Shaco was kind of taking over that lane for a little while. I imagine Lil would love whatever farm he can get towards his Blink Dagger. As of right now, seeing on 500 gold, so not anything crazy as far as his item progression goes. Actually, the least farmed here on his side because of all these kills that Lich has been getting. I'm not saying Slayer has to be careful. You get these big early kill streaks on a squishy support. You can very quickly feed that the other way if you're not careful.
Yeah, certainly.
Big bounty on a head of a hero that normally doesn't have one, and that is very easy to bring down. But for now, I think Odium kind of happy with the pace this game has kind of transitioned into. The fact they've been able to find these kills with the Ember. They're not really finding as many as they were during the lane stage, but what they have been able to find is a lot more farm. Both Enigma and PL starting to accelerate, and that's something that Empire's cores are not really finding as much of.
Yeah, and I do wonder when Naive is going to really turn into a space creator as an Ember Spirit. Because he has 2 space takers in both the Enigma as well as the Phantom Lancer. So those 2 side lane cores are definitely doing a lot better. I just imagine that Empire is going to start pressuring a lot of these heroes soon as Bloodseeker and Pugna start coming online.
I think we're at top. Maybe he was looking for another black hole opportunity, but Pugna very fast, hard to keep up with. Well, Naive, he's feeling confident when he can farm behind towers like that as, Slayer rotates in, they kill off Maiden.
Like the Slayer's just using Chain Frost, going for kills every single time the Chain Frost is off cooldown.
Even just for support, happy to expend it. They're kind of in this, they've entered the farming zone where, you know, we've had a good enough laning stage, we can sit back, continue our item progression. We're in no rush. Like, this Lone Druid's probably going Radiance, but that's at least 6 to 8 minutes away. We can farm for a little bit, get Ember some items, some more levels before we start making some big plays. And they're kind of starting to enter that stage where Ember is becoming a big problem, a big threat.
That's the problem that the Bloodseeker just died so many times in that mid lane.
Yeah. This is going to be another death. He gets swapped back. That may be enough to save him, as Naive also gets stunned on the chase. So it looks like Kuman will be kept alive. Still requires 2 supports to be babysitting him, but on the Odium side, you know, they're dedicating supports to that gank as well. Just feels like their cores on those side lanes are getting so much more, and it is reflected in the net worth. That is, in fact, the case.
Yeah. Just that Bloodseeker needs to be free to be able to go and rupture up the Phantom Lancer and get pickoffs on him or shut down the Enigma. And then those kills in turn allow Lone Druid or Pugna to be able to take these outer towers, but instead it's actually Odium who's taken the first tier 1 of the game thanks to that top lane push.
Yep.
And they're still defending their towers very well.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like the whole idea of Pugna has worked out amazing for Empire as far as getting that good early game advantage. See if that's able to be changed, considering they've got Pugna with Lone Druid. There's a lot of pushing power, but Pugna on the back foot is not a happy Pugna, as we'll see here. Lots of magic damage. Decrypt will not help you, my friend. Naive able to burn him down.
He's putting in the work this game.
He is owning, absolutely. Another Chain Frost coming out just to clear creep waves. I don't think he's actually looking for kills here. He's already TP'd himself out. Kills a couple creeps, will slow the push, but ultimately not much more than that. Not the end of the world, and not really a terrible use of the ultimate anyways, with a 100-second cooldown being fairly long, but it's just not like a key ultimate in these early game clashes.
Wonder how effective the Euless build will be for Bloodseeker this game, because there's a very small window to be able to hit the Phantom Lancer before he can get the Doppelganger, now that there's a 0.1 animation to it.
Yep.
And then there's no animation to Remnants if it's already out. So
yeah, it's maybe somewhat defensively minded. Hard to say.
Could
Here
be.
we go. Bottom lane, Naive is get chain stunned by the multicast down bottom. He's taking a lot of damage from the right clicks here. Will end up dying to the Ogre after killing the Bloodseeker. So Bloodseeker, his struggles continue as the Ogre dies alongside him, but at least they get the Ember in exchange, which makes that a bit more palatable for Empire.
Yeah, 378 gold bounty for the Bloodseeker after he dies. That'll really help recover things for him. The Eul Scepter on the Ember Spirit was almost complete too. That changes things for him a lot. Another reason why the Eul Scepter will probably be ineffective for the Bloodseeker offensively.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like an incredible item, not to say it's not. It's just kind of cheap, cost effective in general across the board, but not going to be a game changer.
But Poshka, because the Ember Spirit is such a big threat, he's going to have to go into a Hood of Defiance, which delays, like, he won't be able to get a Veil built, I think, as a result.
Mid, TPing in, is the Lone Druid. He goes for a Black Hole on top of him. Is there anything to cancel? There's a swap, but the Lich, Chain Frost, chases after him and catches him. Well, well, well. Was that just a lucky bounce at the end?
Yeah.
It looked like some super long-range bounce. Yeah, he tips Slayer for that one. And I don't think he was going to get him without that, too.
Kuman's dead.
He should be.
There's no way he jukes this out enough.
It may have been a way if he completely broke his ankles, but not the case. Oh, the tips on Akuman. They know this guy has died 6 times in 16 minutes. He's probably not feeling like this is a good game for him and like there's a whole lot he can do. Whereas for the Radiant, all 3 cores now top of the net worth charts. The fact that it's, you know, Pugna's up there for his team, but isn't really leading the game, pushing a bunch of towers is a concerning sign as well. We'll see if this Radiance will change anything for Empire, but even that isn't particularly close. I feel like earliest we're looking at maybe like a 21, 22-minute Radiance.
Yeah. It's a long time in the world of Dota where this Phantom Lancer has total space. He's now overtaken the Ember Spirit in net worth. He's already has his Diffusal Blade, is going to be picking up a hood just in case.
I like the casual hoods after the Diffusal Blade, I think are fine. You just boost your effective health by so much. And then you get that level 15 talent with hood and you're just incredibly tanky.
Nice. Lil got the last hit, which gives him the Blink Dagger.
Very nice. That's pretty fast considering it wasn't really a slow start. He set up some decent kills for his team. So good goes down, and they're going to stick around this top lane, see what more they can find. Again, they found Chappie. Killing him is going to slow down that Radiance even further. Be such a big kill to get. They're going to throw the Chain Frost with no bounce targets, just trying to expect that the damage might be enough to kill him. Is it going to be enough to bring him down? Another Searing Chains will get him even lower. It's not quite enough, but Naive seen silence up. Has he got a remnant to escape? He used a lot offensively, and he's got none left, it looks like. Doesn't find Chappie with the Sleight of Fist. That would have finished him off if he landed it. He goes down to the wave from Seiyu, and they've lost 2, overcommitting here in the top lane.
That was so well planned by Seiyu. Did you see him? He could have swapped like a lot earlier on the Lone Druid. He waited until the Remnant commitment from the Ember Spirit, swapped the Lone Druid before the Remnant damage came out, and then as a result was able to set up a Magic Missile stun into the Bloodright. Really well done by him. A lot of patience. Other supports would have panicked and just swapped as soon as they could to save their Lone Druid, but he baits him beautifully.
Get a chance to see it again now. Lil couldn't move, couldn't get the blink. That was such a good target to throw a Rupture on with the Pugna, because if he is somehow in the fog there, he wins that fight for Odium. And I think there's maybe some mistakes there from Lil with his positioning. He shouldn't be getting caught out. He's the blink shaker. He needs to be playing in the trees, playing outside of vision, particularly during daytime, because he's the guy that can keep Ember alive and make sure his team comes out on top there.
Yeah. I also can't help but feeling like the Blade Mail so far would have been more effective for Kumin. It's, again, not a great item for this game either. I don't think they're just truly great items for Bloodseeker. Like, S and Y isn't particularly good.
Yeah, I think the BKB is very good this game against this lineup, though. Like, this more so than the last time we saw Bloodseeker rush BKB feels like a game where that would be quite merited. Smoked up. They're looking to invade, perhaps trying to hunt down this Lone Druid. He keeps on trying to find places to farm towards his Radiance. Is this going to be, once again, foils? Blink, Echo Slam with the Chain Frost, everything being thrown. There's a swap to try and bail him out. Can Chappie get away? He's still alive with the decrypt of the Black Hole! Ghosting! He's caught 3! He's going to lock him in place, and they get shredded apart. The Yules is there to cancel the Venge TP on out, and that is going to be a very clean, well-executed teamfight by Odium.
Blink Dagger Earthshaker, Blink Dagger Enigma, Odium smoke up, go for a great gank right before the 20-minute bounty runes are going to spawn. So even if that failed, even if it wasn't a big team fight like that, they still find a pickoff and they get double bounties as a result. Like, that's still going to feel pretty good. But that team fight was great.
Top
6,000 gold lead now for them.
Ember and Pugna juking it out, as it looks like Pugna will manage to take one. He's going for both. This is ambitious. Maybe Pochka just thought he was dead and wanted to risk another bounty rune. I don't know.
People got to stop picking these Pugnas before they see the cores, I think.
Pugna versus Ember is,
I mean,
pretty rough.
We saw Pugna versus Centaur, which is really bad earlier. Now we're seeing Pugna versus Phantom Lancer and Ember Spirit.
Yeah.
Like, I think you can kind of deal with Phantom Lancer, but there are some problems. But having 2 heroes that just kind of ignore your life drain, that is very, very bad.
Yeah. Well, this game suddenly starts to look a whole lot rougher for Empire. Down 7k gold. They're going to get this Radiance soon. 21 minutes in already and still not quite up. He has the Relic. Kumin trying to run away from Naive, who has been ruptured up here. Can they do anything about him? Doesn't look like it. He's going to remnant himself away with the Rupture wearing off, so we'll be okay. Bit low on health here, but he's kind of fallen off in terms of farm, but that's been the nature of his role this game. He was the guy keeping Bloodseeker down the mid lane and being aggressive, active on the map, enabling Enigma and PL to farm. And, you know, honestly, this game, I think Enigma's farm is more valuable than the Ember. Like, Ember having some cost-effective items offers him a lot in the ability to fight. For Enigma, he needs expensive items to be able to get Black Holes off.
Yeah. The early big Blink pickup was already effective. You get Lincolns. He no longer has to worry about the swap cancel of his Black Hole.
Yep.
And I love that little play he does, pushing out that bottom lane and clearing through all those trees. Maiden gets left behind. Empire just, you know, I mean, they're trying to find farm on the map. They still do not have the Radiance, right?
They're playing 4v5 in a sense. When your Lone Druid is sitting on Relic without Radiance, he's just going to be farming Ultra on the map. And I'd say even like Bloodseeker, none of their heroes want to be fighting or doing anything right now except maybe Pugna, who has 4-staff, Aether Lens Hood. Like, Pugna's kind of hit that mid-game item timing, but then Pugna looks around and he's like, oh, my cores are useless. Just because of their current state. Like, their timings, I mean, Lone Druid should have come now. He's just had a rough time. He's been getting ganked. He's 0-4. Bloodseeker, similar thing. He's died 7 times. If this Bloodseeker and Lone Druid were having a better game, and they were on more even footing, Empire would look very scary right now, but they just don't have those items. So can't really blame them for not joining up and trying to make plays happen, but the end result is kill after kill. Venge now dies as well.
Will the Radiance change things for them?
I kind of doubt it, personally.
Yeah, it just seems like to me that they can ignore Lone Druid still if they want to. The damage over time is not that threatening to their heroes when they're this far ahead. You've got Glimmer Cape, stat items for everyone. And they can still just run over Bloodseeker and Pugna time after time and just kill those cores as fast as you can. Both Phantom Lancer and Ember Spirit can get on top of them, and then the Enigma and Earthshaker have the Blink initiations for you.
Here come Empire, but a Yule Scepter on the PL. Did they time the Blood right? Nope. He gets off the Doppelganger. That'll get him away. A lot of Empire heroes rotate. I believe they smoked to get themselves down here, and once again, Maiden has been left behind. Poor Ogre Magi. He's been having to cop it for his team a few times. They want to chase and get more, and he... Whoa! Searing Chains catches Chappie. They follow it up with an Echo Slam, and he looks completely done for. That's with the Radiance. The first fight coming out just not looking pretty. They didn't even need a black hole, and they GG. They're out. They did type GG. I don't think it showed there for you guys, but I think that's because the observer maybe has them muted or something. But yeah. On my screen they typed GG. That was not a rage quit, guys. I mean, in a sense, it kind of was, but they GG'd. You know, it was like the...
yeah, it kind of was rage quit.
Yeah.
26-5. You know, maybe Team Empire just wasn't ready to play another series yet. Maybe they had some wrong ideas about the draft and such.
That game highlights to me why you spam your tips on tilted enemy players. More likely to rage quit the game.
Yeah, and save yourself time. Is there? I'm going to look back at the draft here. Was there something that was fatally bad? 4th pick Phantom Lancer. That was fatally bad.
They picked Lone Druid and
they picked Lone Druid. That was bad.
Yeah, to me that for most teams is a drafting mistake, and Empire has never struck me as a team that, you know, Lone Druids. I think Chappie obviously probably has a decent number of games on the hero and feels comfortable on it, but it's really hard to make Lone Druid work.
Considering the dominance of Phantom Lancer right now in the meta, like, I just cannot believe. You don't need to 1-2 the hero, but I just cannot believe that it's picked up by Odium with only one counter pick option for Team Empire. Like, they only have their 5th pick available.
They got to imagine, like, that's such a meta core that you can't be surprised by it. Or quite like, oh, they, you know, we just got PL. There we go. It's like, come on, PL's in majority of games as a carry when he's not banned out. He's probably in close to half of pro Dota games where he's not banned these days. So
yeah, so maybe they just a little bit of fatigue got into Team Empire. They lost track of stuff. I forgot that it's not 2014 or whatever, the last time Lone Druid was popular.
Crazy stat. Naive on the Ember is 4 of the 5 deaths, which normally would be a bad thing for your mid laner, but I actually feel like his aggressive plays did lots to enable his team. But that's 3 players, including the Lich, who dominated mid, going unkilled.
Yeah.
That mid dual lane kind of just set the tempo, won them the game in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's good to see that Naive can pretty much single-handedly carry games for them. Ox didn't really get a chance to play Dota, to be honest, because he was free farming and the game was over by the time it was his turn to make some plays.
Well, the game is over. We're going to take a break. Our lunch has arrived. We're going to take a quick
little
snack break and be back with game number 2 of Odium